Okay, we're live here at L. Ron Hubbard Way. See the barricades. We're looking at Sunset Boulevard, and L. Ron Hubbard Way has the streets barricaded. Oh look, let's take a tour of the street on the public sidewalk. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Again, if I can't read small, so if my mod's available, jump on, please. This is impromptu. They have a bouncy house. This is their new alternative therapy to get rid of body thetans. Apparently, you bounce them off. You bounce. I think that's what it is. Yeah, you could jump in there and instead of going to Ash Show, you just bounce your body thetans away. They have an axe throwing contest. Look at that. Wow, axe throwing. What message does that send? Throw axes at what? SPs? The optics are not good. Okay, so it's sleepy. Kind of sleepy here on L. Ron Hubbard Way. You can see the planter technology. Planters. Let's go take a look at some of these planters. So the street is still blocked off. And these big old planters are out here so that we can't camp. Oh darn, I was going to camp tonight on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Good. And tables are out. It's all very quite festive. And people are texting. So that's the appearance of events, but it's, gosh, it's, let's look at the time. Yeah, 6:30 LA time, and nothing going on. Nothing going on here. There are food trucks set up. Shout out to El Guero Truck. Yeah. Am I going to the neighborhood council meeting? I don't know if I'll be able to make it. I know some people that are. I don't know if I can. Now look at this. Fire hydrant. Would the fire department have access? We'll make a note of that. They're blocking a fire hydrant. Let's go out and take a look at... okay, so here's the deal on fire hydrants. So we're going to make health and safety notes. That's not accessible by a fire vehicle easily because you have these planters up there that probably weigh, oh, I don't know, I'd say 1,200 pounds each, have to be moved by a forklift, so a fire truck can't come in. If it did get in during an emergency, this fire hydrant is not accessible easily. It's blocked, so we're going to check the measurements on it. And so that's one thing. The other side's is also blocked. So in terms of health and safety, were there an emergency requiring a fire truck, it could not easily get in, or a paramedic. Even the police could not easily get into the street. So they are, Scientology appears to be in flagrant violation of access rules for first responders, where police, fire, paramedics have to be able to easily access a space. That could create some liability for them should anything happen. And
Hey,
yeah.
what's up?
Hey, how about you? What's going on?
Doing good.
Yeah, what's going on?
I saw a kid just went in that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, little kid, like he looked like he was 5 years old. He just went in the Scientology building.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is. Which one did he go into?
The
This
ADLA one.
ADLA.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay, so ADLA. Did he go this one here, or?
To the one on the left. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a.
And the scooter gate came over when I stopped. Even
Yeah.
though I didn't even know he was behind me or anything.
All right.
He says, "You're stalking me. You're stalking me."
Yeah, they're gonna try to put that up.
And then they said I'm causing a disturbance apparently.
Well, You know, I'm looking at health and safety violations today.
Yeah.
Something I'm investigating. But that's the Advanced Organization of Los Angeles, AOLA. That's where they do the upper level monitoring, you know, when you get your Xenu stuff. They have a new camera out there too. This is a new camera. Let's go check it out. I'm gonna go see this one. So I'm just down doing a health and safety.
That camera, dude, just there.
Well,
I feel like that was just there.
Was it? Yeah, it seems like it's new, but I could be wrong. Let's take a look at it. It's the another camera. What does it say? My little Jeep Cherokee weighs 5,000 pounds before you try it. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So there's the Sierra recruiting office right by
so
Le
weird
Paul.
how they start adding all these plants around here. I feel like they're gonna buy out the street.
Well, I mean, one thing they could try to do is get it closed down. They own most of the property on the street. They own most of the real estate. And so, but whether they could get the street made private. Right now, you know, first responders, fire, paramedics, medicine, police, they couldn't get here. Or if, you know, a pipe in the street burst.
Well,
So,
I mean, they have only one pipe out of everything, but which is over there.
no, I mean, the stuff underground. In LA, you've got gas, sewage, you could have electrical. There's a, so I'm just, you know, looking at, you know, what they're doing. So I'm just doing an inspection and kind of see what. I'm gonna go over and take a look over here. Yeah, it's good work you guys are doing. Okay, so now more inflatable toys. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. I wonder if they're paying ASCAP for that music. So they've got some Scientologists dining at their cafe and enjoying life. A very nice evening, I must say. Good. How you doing? Pardon me? Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Scientology just wanted me to let you know that they obviously have like a street closure permit. I totally get you doing your First Amendment thing. No issues there. You know, but they have like identified you as a person. You know, they believe.
Who has identified me? Kendrick
Scientology.
No, Kendrick Moxon.
I'm not sure who that is.
Scientology's an amorphous entity. Hey, do you know my name?
No.
Okay, so you're claiming that Scientology has identified me, but you won't say
Right.
who in Scientology, and
Well, I couldn't tell you who it is.
no, you don't know, and you don't know my name.
No, I don't.
So, just to inform you, so you know, I'm a private investigator. I'm licensed,
Okay. What's up?
and I'm doing this is I'm documenting certain violations.
Okay.
So I'm doing some pre-litigation work,
Okay.
just so you know. I'm not your average live streamer.
Yeah.
But I do have First Amendment rights over and above that. But for you to say that Scientology, please.
Yeah, so they just want me to let you know that you know, they do have a permit. The street closure up until Sunday night does allow for the public to pass through.
Well, the permit I read online doesn't say through Sunday night, unless they've. I'll go check the updated site.
I can try to get a copy.
It said the 7th to the 14th.
Yeah. So they want me to let you know that you're not welcome at the event. They don't want you here.
I'm not coming to the
They
event.
believe that you're disturbing their peace.
Okay.
They
Now
ask
who?
if you are passing through, that's one thing, that's fine. But if you're stopping for extended periods of time, they're gonna view that as you know, intent to disrupt the event. You know, so just
Now-
keep that in mind.
Okay. Now in terms of an event, because again we need specifics for this potential pre-litigation stuff. There's no event going on right now. There's also in violation of health and safety codes. You could not have police, paramedics, first responders get through those planners.
So I've personally
So what's
seen,
their plan?
LA City Fire come through.
What if you have
emergency
a person down with a heart attack? You need a forklift to move those.
negative. So again, I've personally seen
You have?
LA
Okay.
City Fire
Okay.
ambulance.
Just come. They just
Come here on
so
a-
people
come here
can
on an emergency
so people
call.
can move those.
And they easily entered
Okay,
into
well,
the accident.
yeah,
And I
when-
think it's already being brought up with street services
Yeah.
investigators.
Okay.
that
Yeah.
issue multiple
Oh,
times.
yeah,
before.
yeah. And there's
Certainly
blocking
appreciate
hydrants.
you bringing
I
it to light.
look. I'm here seeing
It
what's
has been,
going on.
Has already been addressed. And
There has been some agents of Scientology making threats. So
well, if anyone here makes a threat towards you, just come and get my assistance, and I'll certainly address that.
no,
on your
I will
behalf,
address
okay?
that with LAPD
Okay, yeah,
downtown,
no problem. Yeah.
not Hollywood. But I appreciate you're doing your job.
Yeah, I'll certainly
You know,
try to
I'm
help
not
on
here to
either
cause
side.
I'm not here to cause
Yeah.
trouble.
I appreciate that.
And now, when you say public street, this street's actually closed.
Right. Yes,
Or
the
is
street
now? What about the sidewalks?
Right. So the street closure permit, I think some of your colleagues or other
Well,
First Amendment auditors do have a copy of that.
I'm not a First Amendment auditor.
Okay.
I just want to know, public sidewalks, are they closed
Yeah,
within
so
the
the
street?
permit is for the sidewalk and the street.
For the public
between
sidewalk.
Sunset Boulevard and
Okay.
Mountain Avenue.
Okay, so that's the stated closure.
Right, and there's also a Los Angeles municipal code that relates to street closure events, and in that section states, you do not disturb the event.
I know that
So
very
just be
well.
mindful of that.
Having worked public events, or private events rather, I know that very well. So we're just making sure, so anyway, I'm observing things, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, and
Look,
again,
I'm
if you
not.
have any issues or you think there's any violations, LA City Street Services investigators, they're the ones
know.
that are responsible for street permits.
I know.
And any violations
Yeah,
on
see.
the permit holder's
Yeah.
behalf, and they're the ones who
Okay.
can certainly address any issues or enforce any
Yeah.
violations on
Okay.
that side.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you,
All right,
officer.
sir,
I
take care.
appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so you notice the generalized language. Scientology has identified me as a person who could disrupt an event, but he can't say who, and he doesn't know my name. So basically, Scientology is engaging in generalized instructions to their hired security agents to say anyone walking with a camera is a potential disturbance. Now, how would that stand up in court? If you're walking on their street as a PI or as a journalist, other things, how does that stand up? He also made the claim that these can be moved by hand, which, no, those cannot be moved by hand. So the security officer's claim, and certainly he was polite, I must say that he's very polite, and these need a forklift. You can't move these by hand. So what you have to do, you can see the staggered layout. So what they've done to allow access, they've staggered the planners so that you can move these barricades, and you can remove that, so the emergency vehicles have to come in this way on the fountain side. I want to make a note of that, and they have to stagger in. So yes, technically you can get an emergency vehicle in, but that one support structure is held down by sandbags. So we want to look at, in the event of a actual medical emergency or fire, God forbid, what is the ease of which you could move this? That becomes evidence, so I want to document it. Held down with sandbags because there is wind. We are having winds coming in. So this is on wheels, so that wheel device could be moved. You just undo the locks. Okay, so access is not that easy. Visibility is not that good either. So in terms of obstruction, planners, now they're making the claim that the public sidewalks are private. Now there's no event, and if they're going to do serial claims of street closures through the summer, that goes to a pattern of abusing the process itself, abusing the street closure process in order to defeat free speech. So it's basically an attack on free speech is what's going on. They're trying to engage in censorship via street closures. These are matters of public interest because minors are involved in the church. Minors, foreign nationals who are here on possibly illegal passports obtained illegally or through an abusive process of religious worker visas, RW1, I believe it is. But not good overall, Scientology. Okay, so again, if we look at the access, the sidewalk is clear, but the roadway's not. So we have to look at the code, access for emergency vehicles with a valid street closure. What are the rules? I'll post that up on my blog. Hey, how you doing? Couple supporters driving by.
I was able to like.
Okay. Now this I noted before. This lamp has been broken, and it was broken. I was here at least, 3 months ago when they took down the sign. So this is an electrical hazard. Exposed electrical wiring, Scientology. Exposed electrical wiring. I have that broken about 3 months ago. It looks like a failure to repair. Why haven't you repaired? Why do you have exposed electrical wire on the street? Not good. Again, these are broken. I don't know what the story is of how these have gotten knocked over. Were they knocked over with the planners? But look at this. This is a health and safety violation of exposed electrical wires on the street. So these need to be fixed, Scientology. I think the planners may have knocked them over. So you wouldn't look for anything. See, look at this. See other uplighters? These fixtures in the ground, they're called uplighters. They throw light up, but they're turned straight up. Look at this. Now this is just an interesting question in terms of maintenance. They're so busy putting up planners. Uplighters are broken, exposed electrical wires. That's strange to see that many uplighters broken. And Scientology is not taking care of its facility. Another broken uplighter, another broken one. This is a trip and fall hazard for a pedestrian. Right here we're noting it. This is clearly a trip and fall hazard. It's an obstruction that goes above the ground. So that's trip and fall hazard. And these planners, they're quite heavy. They're not going anywhere. Let me look at some comments. Lights aren't on public embankment illegal. Yeah, those are Scientology's lights. You can put them there. I'd have to look at the code, but you have to maintain them if you put them there. And so what is the story of all the broken uplighters? Look at that. And again, the brackets have not broken. There's no exposed electrical wiring, but there are on others. So another broken. So this seems to be a pattern of them not maintaining it. It's not good, because if the lights do go on, they'll shine out, they'll just shine indiscriminately anywhere. And here is Clear Channel, still has not rented out the sign that Phil Jones paid to put up, and the Aftermath Foundation. So that's lost revenue to the CEO of Clear Channel, and I've did a piece on him. He was just a big pussy who backed down to Scientology. I forget his name, but I'll look it up. Somebody look up Clear Channel CEO, and we want to give a shout out to their cowardly CEO. That's a non-revenue producing billboard. Scientology may I don't think they would have purchased it. Look at the moon up there. There's a moon with the jetliner going by. I can't get the jetliner. Beautiful LA view. Anyway, this is not producing revenue for Clear Channel. Did Scientology refund the aftermath? And if so, did Scientology, are they compensating Clear Channel for lost revenue, or is Clear Channel just not going to be able to sell that because they know what a big pussy the CEO is and him backing down? Can you believe it? You're supposed to be committed to free speech when you're doing outdoor advertising, and except when it comes to that, then they run away. I have no respect for Clearwater. I'm sorry, Clear Channel or Clearwater. Scientologists who buy that land and leave it empty. So just as in Clearwater, buildings are left empty that are owned by Scientologists, here on Fountain Avenue at Pacific Base, Scientology Pacific Base, they're leaving the billboard empty. And there's also, they've gated everything. Gated, tarped, gated and tarped everything. Well, if you're in the area and you want to come down, please do check it out. The weather is just perfect. Perfect evening. The heat wave is past. I have been traveling of late and not being able to. I want to do a podcast or maybe a live on some of my current research. So let's check the camera arrays. Let's check the camera arrays. So let me get a shot of that. So the general tendency here with covering everything, blocking it all, is zero visibility, no visibility to outsiders. On the Scientology tone scale, hiding is -8. -8 on the tone scale. So Scientology's gone into hiding, disappearance, blocking, obstructing, closing streets, and hiring security to say that live streamers have been identified. And this one security guard, I'm glad I got his statement because he doesn't know who I am. He made a very general statement. So they have a blanket thing. If you have a camera and you're filming them, you've identified as disturbing a religious service. This is kind of a strategy they're using in court. It would be interesting to see how that played out, that anyone with a camera could potentially disturb it. Well, who is anyone with a camera? So is everybody in Los Angeles who has a cell phone and a camera? Are they a threat to Scientology? Scientology for decades has used cameras to threaten and intimidate people. And as I've said before, the minute they get the cameras turned on them, they don't like it. I'm documenting footage just to see it relative to street closures. They have private property posted. The sign should be bigger. It's quite tiny. Recommend they post it much larger. When you post private property, I'm going to check the code on how big this sign should be. That sign's tiny. Yeah, I think it should be bigger. So they've gone into fortress mode, Fortress Scientology. I have an essay I'm going to reprint on my blog called Monastery Scientology, which is my prediction I made a long time ago, that they continue to contract down. They become a fortress out here in the monastery. They'll shrink down to Clearwater. And it says, quiet please, religious service in progress. So Scientology, let's check their ministerial training. Ministerial training and religious services in progress. Religious ministerial training, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Religious counseling, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So basically what they want to do is they want to say that they have non-stop religious services from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So they have non-stop counseling. And Yeah, let me see. So I guess you come here in the morning. Okay, so they have it blocked. Now, can you block a crosswalk as part of a street closure? Let's look at that code. A crosswalk. I know they do it on Hollywood Boulevard for the big events, but there's no particular event. So they're basically defending L. Ron Hubbard Way, the interior, where the orgs face into the street. That's what they're wanting to defend. Any foot traffic. Any foot traffic. They have upgraded their cameras. You know, they have some new cameras here. And I've already looked them up. There's an old camera. 4833 Fountain. Again, they've posted private property signs. And now who knows? Maybe there's a biolab in there. Maybe they're real secret. They're running a biolab in there to build massive quantities of Xenu knows what they would build. So maybe this is really a biolab. Just fun to have conspiracy. So more private property. That's a new addition. Numerous private property signs. We're going to measure off the feet, and of course the L. Ron Hubbard's cross. That is a cross to bear too. Scientology is a cross to bear. Private property camera. So this looks like a standardization program. There's some clean silver coming off that junction box. It looks like they've installed some new electrical. Going where? I don't know. Let's take a look. So we have one camera there. You know, it's strange, and I mention this all the time, but these are all old wooden windows on this building, original construction. Why don't they re-window this place? Those old wooden windows really look like garbage. They're just old. They're the old 100-year-old windows. Whatever. They built. What was it built? 1928. So they're going on 100 years old, and they keep the same old wooden windows. And the paint, you can see, they don't even look at that paint. That paint, like they don't even paint these things. I mean, that's downstat. Look at that filthy painting. No paint, exposed raw wood. Why Scientology will spend so much money on PIs and lawyers and empty ideal orgs, but they don't paint. They don't paint their damn windows on one of their flagship properties. That window is like, that's got to be voted worst window in Los Angeles. It wouldn't kill Scientology to spend $10 to paint that window, or just replace the windows with new windows, new technology. Scientology, they have these things called double pane windows that are energy efficient. They're vinyl. They'll last a long time. I've always wondered why they don't re-window the place. There's another downlighter that's been knocked down. So why are all the the uplighters knocked down? Another one knocked down. Another uplighter down. Why are so many of their uplighters knocked down? What is going on? Can't figure it out. Huh. No, I know those uplighters fixtures. That's just strange. So now we see another private property. Okay, now there's a restaurant that's really happening. Yeah, that's always packed. Safi's, nice restaurant. Beautiful building, this old Merrick building. See, now the Merrick building re-windowed. It has a nice fresh coat of paint. Pretty beautiful building. Scientology, I guess they can't afford paint. So we'll take a walk around. And we're seeing their camera arrays again. They paint their cameras blue to fit in. So those are low profile. They're trying to create a stealth look with their cameras by making them blue. Look at that. I wonder if they come blue from the factory, like if they order a finish. It looks like a factory finish. It's actually very good painting, whoever did it. But I wonder if they anodize it at the factory. It's pretty close color matching. There's some drill holes for the old one in the wall. They need to cover those up. Yeah, look at the windows. Are really crappy old yellow windows. Disgusting. Dirty. Yeah, just, yeah, that's not, like you do all this work to do planning, but the painting, I don't get the stilted, I don't get it. It's so stilted to do gardens, beautiful vegetation, cameras, but then you let your windows, I don't know, enough on the windows. So here's the generator room. I wonder what's really in there. They get power from the city, so I don't know if they really need generator. I don't know if they have an actual emergency generator or what's in there. We'll have to pull some permits. So the physical plant of the church, no changes, just some private property signs. Private security, they're more polite. It looks like they're not letting Sea Org security talk to the public. Odo used to say hi to me, but he was just, you know, I guess they want to offload any. See, L. Ron Hubbard said that a Scientologist can communicate with anybody about anything, but that's demonstrably false. Scientologists are not allowed to communicate with anybody about anything. Even amongst themselves, communication is dangerous because you get written up. And so another private property. So this is certainly one of the measures they've taken after talking to consultants. There's the fire stairs. I've always liked these shots for the shadows in architecture. Fire escape stairs, ladders. That's old LA. But it's a nice photo as we look at it in the light. It's a geometrical pattern, the repetition of form. And then we pan over and we can see the cross. And of course, Scientology's desecrating the American flag. They shouldn't even be flying it. They're so disgusting and vile. Everything about American freedom is what they're opposed to. So for them to fly an American flag is an utter disgrace. Just our L. Ron Hubbard's fake war medals. L. Ron Hubbard's stolen valor. Warning. Moving gate can cause serious injury or death. We should reword that. Scientology can cause serious injury or death. So we'll make a memo as we circumambulate Pac Base. Security lighting is they've got lighting up on the edge, so that's not disturbed. They've got all the valves chained. Huh. Okay. Okay, more private property. Penal Code Section 602. That's required. Quiet, please. We have the same. So look at the layers of defense they're putting up. Religious service in progress from 9 to 10, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Religious counseling, and then the private property signs. Now, I wonder when they're going to actually erect a fence along here, so that they. I wonder when they're going to erect a fence. That should be their next step, to erect a fence. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad someone's at the meeting. Yeah, I just couldn't make my schedule. It's been hectic. And I wanted to come out here and just see what changes. So, private property, no oversized vehicle parking, Church of Scientology parishioner only, unauthorized vehicles will be towed, etc. So they're certainly trying to get their signage all lined up. Beautiful British Columbia, I understand. Huh. Yeah. And looks like some more cameras. So not much going on. We'll walk by the front, look at the sign. We're looking for, among other things, are obstructions, hazards, and of course, I'm. Hold on a minute. Of course, what would it be without data logging, which I've talked about. I'm logging that. That's all uploading into a cloud. I always want to measure for, I get a baseline. I can come down late at night and get a baseline, come out early and get a baseline of frequency activity across different frequency bands in an effort to see what they're doing. Now here at almost 7 o'clock, you would expect to have that. I've had other times where we've had nothing. So we're on the street. If we go back on Hubbard Way, we would predictably expect it to drop. They're pressure washing. Hey, there's that old Crown Victoria. That's a fake police car. They used to have that parked in the Horseshoe, and they wanted to have people get the impression that they are they had a cop there or something. I don't know. The Scientology sign says it's time. It's time. Yeah, it's time for you guys to pack up and leave. I'm expecting to see something on my expecting to see something come up on frequency. Oh yeah, it's beautiful today in LA. Okay, so there's the we're at 7:05. Can now see? Okay, mark that. So we have one false statement today given by a private security that I was identified as somebody, though he didn't know my name. So generally, when you have private security operatives, agents, you show them photos ahead of time and you get them to know their names. So I don't think that fellow realized what he was telling me, the import of what he was telling me, the possibility. So they told me. So that's discoverable, potentially, if it ever went to court. Who told you? And then they would argue attorney-client. But then it looks like a false statement, or potentially a false statement. But he did tell me he was told. So okay, now look at this electrical situation here. This is another potential thing we will look at, is the connected electrical load. Are they exceeding the capacity of that service box. There's a lot of connected load. In fact, usually I don't see that much. So they've added some load to that box. Huh. May not, they're. Along Hubbard Way has a Pac Base, should I say, has a very uneven relationship to regulations, codes. The violate code is needed. Oh yeah, I got you. Scientology, watching me, watching it, and they're on YouTube. If they were on YouTube, they could watch my stream and they could watch me in real life. It's not virtual reality. It's the real thing. And vehicles over 6,000 pounds gross prohibited. They've had vehicles in excess of that. I think 6,000 and above. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 6,000 and above is commercial vehicles. Grant Cardone says he leases. What is it? His cars he leases cross the weight threshold to become commercial vehicles, so he can write them off. So I don't know if Grant Cardone's luxury car that weighs over, I think it's 6,000, just over the limit for commercial, and he's allowed to write it off as a commercial vehicle. Anyway, I don't know if Grant Cardone would be allowed on Pac Base in that car, in the Cardone mobile. Well, not much. It's quiet. I want to come before the evening to have things scheduled for this evening. And so a few changes. The claimed street closure we'll check out. Now what happens if there's not a street closure and a bicyclist hits one of these planters? The planters are not illuminated at night. Therefore, because they're not illuminated by night and they have no signs by day, a bicyclist or someone riding an electric scooter could run into one of those if they were not paying attention, or just because it was dark. So it's odd that they don't place reflective devices. That's another code requirement to check. They have reflectors. You see the red reflectors on the planter box? Okay, that red reflector that's to tell oncoming vehicles you're running into an obstacle. There should be reflectors on all the planter boxes to warn oncoming traffic, cyclists, people on electric scooters, of an oncoming hazard. So they do have reflectors here on all the planter boxes, but no reflectors on the smaller planter boxes, one of which has been damaged. Something backed into that probably. So again, that's the point. They don't have reflectors on the sides, the front at all. So in the dark, these planters may not be visible. They've also had the net effect of narrowing the sidewalk. And are you allowed to deliberately narrow the sidewalk? Can you narrow a sidewalk like that? Taking city land. Basically, that could be, well, potentially, depending on the time duration, viewed as an intent at adverse possession. Adverse possession is when you put some of your, you take someone else's property and possess it adverse to their interest. Because we, the taxpayers, own this land, Scientology is an adverse possession of property owned by the taxpayers. So therefore that could become the basis of a lawsuit if we think about it, because this is adverse possession absent any permit or anything, and also they're not in code. There's no reflective devices or warning devices. Do they become injury hazards? Well, one thing that argues for that, as we analyze this, was damage here. Was a person damaged? Was a vehicle damaged? What is the story on this? So we have it at the time. Okay, so 7:10. Yeah, so are they possessing public sidewalk to the adverse interests of the public that owns these things, the taxpayers? Well, it certainly appears that, in my opinion, they're staking a claim to this land that they don't own. they don't own, and they have no legal title to, no legal right to own or possess or put planters in it, such that it narrows and inhibits the function of a public sidewalk, which is to allow the safe passage of pedestrians, bicycles, etc. Yeah, so that's I'm going to find out the legal basis of why they're having this. Let's go to some comments. Okay. Yeah, good comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's so there's a lot of sunlight, and I'm not able to read the comments. So they put a sign. Now, this is something that of interest to me. This sign here that says, "No parking anytime." No parking anytime, or you'll be towed away. But they have bouncy houses parked there. So, no parking anytime. The meaning of that sign, within a street closure, you can't park there at any time, but Scientology can erect bouncy houses while they have the public street closed. And they can also erect their little pavilions there and things, their little kiosks. And they can have a taco truck. So we just want to get a view of it. Another question, there's some LEDs there. Those are powered from where? Where do they run power? Do they own that house? Where do they run electrical power to the? All this, many of the trees on the street are wrapped in LEDs. So where do they run electrical power? Is it permitted? What's the deal? And then also you can see here, this is Pacific Bell. So this Pacific Bell telephone vault, they've not covered over, nor the water meter. So they're cognizant of it. But if Pacific Bell needed to come in to repair phones, you know, these are the kinds of questions. They're not blocking driveways, but I don't know if they can legally do this. So that's one of the questions we're investigating with counsel and who specialize in this type of thing. Anyway, that's just a quick brief scan. Let's just check one more thing while we're on Hubbard Way. Let's just check. Okay, and again, that's part of getting a baseline for the time, and then we'll come back later and do more. We've done frequency mapping, so it's now 7:15, and I think we're going to be cutting out of here. You can see the oh, look at this, there's another private property sign. See the shadows falling across it. Anyway, well, thanks for hopping on the live. It wasn't anything. I feel sorry for the people that live across the street, deprived of free access to their driveways. Yeah, that's a problem. Do they compensate them? Do they compensate the residents for their troubles? Do the residents have to check in with a Scientology security guard or private security contractors to gain access to their own homes? How does that impinge on their rights? Has there been damages? If I lived here and I had to check in with Scientology security to get to my own house, that would be a direct, I would think, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that would be a civil case, because they're denying me the right of enjoyment and free access to my domicile. So in other words, typical Scientology fuckery afoot, and they don't want live streamers. There are, again, I remind you, go Google Scientology tone scale, look at it and go to -8, which is very low, in hiding. So we leave you with Scientology in hiding, and you know, we'll leave it at that. So thank you so much. Hello everyone. We're going to end the stream here, and I want to take one more shot, one more scan of. Yeah, I wish you could be here in LA. Like I said, I won't be able to get out tonight, but it is quite nice now that the heat wave has passed. Hope you're doing well wherever you're at. And I have I want to do a live stream later from my studio about the, 35,000 pounds of Mount Gay rum from Barbados that Scientology shipped in 2014. So I'm still looking at, I'm going to start a program looking at all the freight manifests. They brought in furniture, automotive parts, all kinds of stuff on these shipping manifests. That's up on my blog, as well as a long list that I got of Sea Org members who are residents of LRHOA. So you just keep collecting and compiling data on video from documents from publicly available sources, and the community does a great job. And from the empty Pac Base, empty. This is what they call their religious and cultural celebration. It's empty. It's like a tomb, So from the Pac Base Mausoleum, Jeffrey Augustine, wishing you all the best. See you next time.